Oh dear, oh dear. I just can't find it anywhere. Friends, I am looking for my green tennis ball. It's a green tennis ball. It's about this big. It's in a circular shape. Have you seen my green tennis ball anywhere? I just can't find it. Hmm. You know, this reminds me of the story about our friends Frog and Toad and how one day one of them lost a button. In Frog and Toad, a lost button. Toad and Frog went for a long walk. They walked across a large meadow, and they walked into the woods. They walked along the river, and at last they went back home to Toad's house. "Oh, drat!" said Toad. "Not only do my feet hurt, but I have lost one of the buttons on my jacket." "Don't worry," said Frog. "We will go back. We will go back to all the places where we walked, and we will soon find your button." They walked back to the large meadow, and they began to look for the button in the tall grass. "Here is your button," cried Frog. "That is not my button," said Toad. "That button is black. My button is white." Toad put the black button in his pocket. A sparrow flew down. "Excuse me," said the sparrow. "Did you lose a button? I found one." "That is not my button," said Toad. "That button has 2 holes. My button has 4 holes." Toad put the button with the 2 holes in his pockets. They went back to the woods and looked on the dark paths. "Here is your button," said Frog. "That is not my button," cried Toad. "That button is small. My button was big." Toad put the small button in his pockets. Friends, how many buttons does Toad have with him now? He has the black button, the button with 2 holes, and he has the button. Oh, and he has the small button, right? That's 3. He has 3 more buttons now. But are any of those buttons his? No. A raccoon came out from behind a tree. "I heard that you are looking for a button," he said. "Here's one that I just found." "That is not my button," wailed Toad. "That button is square. My button was round." But Toad put the square button in his pocket. He has 4 buttons now. Frog and Toad went back to the river, and they looked for the button in the mud. "Here is your button," said Frog. "That is not my button," shouted Toad. "That button is thin. My button is thick." So now he had 4, and now he has 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons. Toad put the thin button in his pocket. He was very angry. He jumped up and down and screamed, "The whole world is covered in buttons, and not one of them is mine." Toad ran home and slammed the door. There, on the floor, he saw his white 4-holed, big, round, thick button. "Oh," said Toad. "It was here all the time. Oh, what a load of trouble I have made for Frog." Toad took all of the buttons out of his pockets. He took his sewing box down from the shelf, and Toad sewed the buttons all over his jacket. The next day, Toad gave his jacket to Frog. Frog thought that it was beautiful. He put it on and jumped for joy. None of the buttons fell off. Toad had sewed them on very, very well. The end. Friends, Frog went with Toad to look for Toad's button. But did they find Toad's button in the fields or in the mud? No, it was at home. But Toad thought Frog was so nice to him for helping him look that Toad put all those buttons together into one big gift for Frog. Wow. That was really special and really kind of Toad and Frog, right? It was kind of Frog to help Toad look for his button, and it was kind of Toad to make Frog a whole jacket out of buttons. Well, friends, sometimes the things that we are looking for, we know where they are. We just forgot where we put them. I remember I was playing with my tennis ball in this very room, and I put it on my dresser. Look at that! I found it. Did you know it was over there the whole time? Yeah? Ha! Well, thank you so much for your help, friends. You have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.